Hello and welcome to IndianMoney.com's YouTube channel. My name is Fayaz. What is it in entrepreneurs that makes them so successful, that makes them so rich? There are various other professions that are available in our country, in our world today. But why is it that only entrepreneurs are able to make it to the top 10 richest people of the world? Even if you look at the richest people of the world in India, there are only entrepreneurs that are basically on that kind of list. There is Mukesh Ambani in India, who is the richest. There is Elon Musk in the world, who is the richest. And you will not find any other kind of professional people who are in that kind of list. It's because entrepreneurs have certain skill sets, they have certain traits which actually help them to become a better version of themselves and eventually help them to make a lot more money, and eventually they can scale things up and blow it out of proportion. So you and me can also learn certain traits from entrepreneurs, and this video is all about that. In this video, we'll understand certain habits which entrepreneurs have which help them to become richer version of themselves. So now without further ado, let's get straight to the point. The first trait or the first habit which entrepreneurs have is that the habit of taking risk. We all know the fact that risk hai to isk hai, and indeed some of the most successful entrepreneurs in our world today are people who have taken risks. Nobody could have thought that you can actually book cabs via a mobile application. Nobody could have thought that you can probably sit down at home and watch a cinema. You can probably rent someone's place and probably have a good time over there as well. But entrepreneurs took this risk. There are entrepreneurs like the founder of Uber, the founder of Netflix, the founder of Airbnb, who were able to think these ideas and who were able to understand that they can actually create certain kinds of products which will eventually have a market of their own. Nobody could have thought that you can actually go and settle on Mars, but Elon Musk did it. And guess what? He is now because he took that risk when he got that money from PayPal, when he started that Tesla, and when he started SpaceX simultaneously. Everyone else made fun of him. They thought that this idea is bullshit and he's just wasting his time and money. But eventually that idea, that hard work, that risk paid off, and eventually he was able to build a market on its own, and eventually he has now become the richest person in the world. So you can also become a richer version of yourself provided you are willing to take that risk, you are willing to take that chance. What if you fail? It's okay if you fail, because if at all you win, you will earn money. If at all you lose, you learn some experience, and eventually you will be able to do it better. So that's how things work. That's how you will be able to become a successful entrepreneur as well. The second thing which entrepreneurs have is that the habit of having an open mind. It's extremely important that you do not have a narrow vision. You should always be open for taking inputs, taking suggestions, because that's how you'll be able to grow. Because right now you have just one brain and you're thinking from just one perspective, but maybe the same kind of client or maybe the same kind of business model can be approached via a different angle, via a different perspective, via a different side or different way altogether. So it's extremely important that you have an open mind, that you have an open perspective, that you should be willing to take new inputs, new ideas, or probably you should be willing to make certain changes as well if at all your team gives you certain inputs. Because many times it happens that people, when they have a rigid attitude towards their business or towards their objective, then they are not able to achieve their goal, because you need to have an agility in your plan. And agility basically will help you to create new ways, probably to carve a niche for yourself, and eventually you'll be able to become a successful entrepreneur as well. The third thing which entrepreneurs have is the habit of learning something new every day. You need to learn something new and you need to keep on reinventing yourself, because that's how you will be able to build a sustainable business model for yourself and for your customers. There are certain new things that we all have learned in the year 2020, because not a lot of people were comfortable with the idea of using maybe Zoom calls or maybe the idea of using Google Meetups. But eventually everyone learned it, and the ones who did learn it on time were able to continue forward and make money even during the pandemic. So if at all you are a person who is not a very tech savvy person, then it's high time that you need to start learning it. Because a lot of stand-up comedians, for example, a lot of artists who probably had a very good market before the pandemic hit the economy, they were able to do live shows and make a lot more money. But because of the pandemic, we were all locked down in our houses. So now the only way to entertain yourself was to probably use a Zoom call, or probably to use a laptop, and probably to do your show via internet platform. And the ones who were able to do it were able to make a lot more money for themselves. And the ones who were have abstained themselves from this medium, then definitely they were sitting at home and they were not making money. So if at all you want to make money and continuously make money irrespective of how the situation or how the country's economy is, you need to keep on learning new stuff every single day. The fourth habit which makes entrepreneurs very, very successful is the habit of being emotionally intelligent. If at all you are a person who does not care about people's emotion, or if at all you are a person who does not have any kind of empathy, then definitely you are lacking a very important skill. Because if you want to connect with someone, it can be your employees, it can be your customers, it can be your clients, it can be your stakeholders, it can be your shareholders, you need to have certain empathy, you need to have certain emotion, you need to be humane. And to be humane, all it takes is just a little bit of good heart, a good intent. And if at all your intent is good, if at all your heart is good, if at all you are a person who is actually kind with his employees, with his stakeholders, with his customers, who probably tries to understand their situation and takes decision accordingly, you will be able to win the trust of your employees, of your stakeholders, and eventually they will not now work for that objective that you want to achieve, but now they will work for you because you trusted in them when they were actually looking out for a guiding light. So if at all you can become that person, then definitely you will be able to create much more opportunities for yourself and for your business. Which brings us to the next point of creating new opportunities. Entrepreneurs have this habit of creating opportunities, and what could be a better example than the idea of Netflix, the idea of Oyo, the idea of Amazon, the idea of Tesla, the idea of Airbnb. There are so many examples. Nobody could have thought that you can use a mobile phone to book a cab, but Uber did it. Nobody could have thought that you could use a mobile phone to book a hotel, but Oyo did it. Nobody could have thought the idea of sitting down at your home and watching cinema. Netflix did it. There are so many examples of this when people have actually created a different market altogether by just creating a new opportunity. So if at all you can do that, today these kinds of opportunities or these kind of risks which all these entrepreneurs have taken has created so much employment, so much amount of money, such a big market, and they are able to cater the customer because they have a huge amount of customers who are waiting for their services. So you could also become a much more better version of yourself. You will also be able to tap a new market, provided you have the ability of creating new opportunities for yourself. And the last but definitely not the least, the one thing that you have to keep in mind is that you need to keep on playing on your strengths. I mean, it is fine that you can learn a new skill, master it, perfect it, and then become a master of that. That might take a lot of your time, and that might not be a wise idea. Because I mean, I'll just give you a simple example. Sachin Tendulkar knew the fact that he is a good cricketer. He did not decide to become a singer. He could have done that. He could have learned music. He could have learned Saregama and all the other aspects. He could have learned classical singing. He could have learned all the different aspects and angles that are required to become a singer. But he did not do that. He knew that he had the skill of becoming a cricketer. He had the strength in becoming a cricketer, and he did that. Lata Mangeshkar could have become a cricketer also, but then she played on her skill. She played on her strength. She knew that she had a very good voice. She knew that if at all she can perfect her skill set a little bit, she can become the Nightingale of India. And today she is called that. She is one of the most reputed, respected singers across the globe. So you can also become a much more better version of yourself, provided you play only on your strengths. It's good to perfect your imperfections, but it's extremely important that you work on your skill sets, work on your strengths. Only then you'll be able to cater the audience in a much more better manner. So like this, if you want to learn more about personal finance, career building, farming and business, you can download the Financial Freedom app. There we have made several courses which will help you understand about all these aspects in a much more better manner. If you like this video, please don't forget to like this video and also subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon as well. And if at all you have any feedbacks, any comments, any suggestions, please do leave them in the comment section and help us improve and help us entertain you and educate you in a much more better manner. Until next time, my name is Fayaz and you're watching InMoney.com.